so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you got to do that. I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy, going to rehab. I had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
Okay, let's talk about this Diddy situation and his apology. We're going to talk about this one, y'all. This girl a mess, y'all. Hi guys, welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you've been around here a while. I'm Kendra, this is 𝐒𝐿𝐴 𝐁𝐞𝐿𝐴. This is my space where I share my life with you guys. I also talk about wild stuff on the internet, and today is one of those days. If that stuff sounds good to you, then make sure you are subscribed to my channel. Also, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up while you are at it. So I know. Everybody by now has probably heard of the Diddy situation, and they have probably saw that very graphic and crazy video of him putting literal hands and feet on his ex, Cassie. If you don't know about the entire Diddy situation, basically he was with the singer Cassie. They were in a relationship for many years. And just recently, several months ago, she filed a civil suit against him for a lot of different things. I'm not going to go into everything, but it was a lot of different things. He settled with her very quickly the next day. He settled with her. And while settling a suit is no admission of guilt, it was very fast that he settled, and she accused him of some crazy, crazy things. And in fact, within her suit, that incident that was caught on camera, that is on CNN. So if you haven't saw it, you can go to CNN, just Google it. You will see that, and she spelled it out literally, directly, word for word, bar for bar in that civil suit that she filed. And this man, I'm referring to Diddy, he has vehemently denied everything in that civil suit. Not only did he vehemently deny everything in that civil suit, he basically said it was a money grab. And a lot of people did the same thing as well. They did. They said, she had no merit. She was just going after money. She was just a gold digger. She was just in it for the lifestyle, whatever. It's been some crazy things said on the internet, but when this video footage surfaced, people have been very silent who were on his side. And you can't deny video footage, right? You can't deny that. And he couldn't deny it either, and he decided to make an apology. And you guys already know how I feel about apologies. I hate them so much because I feel that they are continuously and always insincere. And so that's what I am here to talk about today. I want to talk about his apology, but I also want to talk about some red flags within their relationship and kind of how you can protect yourself from a situation like this. So let's get into it. So let's talk about this apology. So the first things he talks about is his darkest times, and he was effed up. And then he follows that up with saying there's no excuse for his behavior. But I feel like you just made an excuse. You were saying how it was one of the darkest times and you were really effed up and this is why you did this. That sounds like an excuse to me, but I digress, because then he goes on to further elaborate that he sought professional help. He sought therapy, he sought rehab, and he sought God. And my, how they always turn to God when they're in trouble. Oh, it reminds me kind of like our friend Brittany Dawn. I made so many videos on Brittany Dawn, but if you have not checked out any of those, this is about my favorite one where I kind of run down her whole entire situation. But she went on this whole godly arc after her fitness training scam. And they always say that they're either gonna go to therapy or they've been to therapy. But I just wonder, like, why more people aren't going to therapy before they actually get into relationships with people. I don't know. But did he really go to therapy? I highly doubt it if he did. I really highly doubt that. And in fact, if you're ever in a situation with someone who does things like this to you, or they cheat on you, or any other reprehensible thing, I would like to see proof of such things. And not only proof, let me talk to your therapist. I don't need details of your therapy sessions, but I want to know how you're doing in these sessions. If you're coming, what are their recommendations? So I want proof. And it's no harm in asking for proof if someone is asking to like be with you and believe you, because a lot of people weaponize therapy and they're just full of hot air. Just like I think he's full of hot air. And then he talks about getting help with rehab, in which I don't believe. Maybe he did go, I don't know. But I feel like a lot of times when celebrities go to rehab, they usually kind of like televise it or announce it, you know, or sometimes it like slips out. And I never heard anything about this man going to rehab. I could be wrong. I'm not really like a pop culture type girly, and I'm not really into like celebrity gossip. So I could have missed that little tidbit, but here it is, you know. Did you really go to therapy? Did you really go to rehab? Are you really seeking God? Like, are you really doing all these things? I highly doubt it. Yeah, highly doubt it. And then he says, I'm so sorry. But he doesn't say who he's sorry to, and he doesn't say what he's sorry about. I just feel like it's so fake and it's so phony, and it's the worst apology that I've seen. Like, it's a pretty awful apology. Because when you apologize directly to someone whom you've harmed, and you usually want to state like what you did that's wrong, and then you talk about your actions going forward, in which he talks about his actions going forward as a commitment to be a better man. But be a better man how? In what capacity? What are you doing to be a better man? What have you done since this incident? This was in 2016. Here it is in 2024. But you're still running around on the town with young girls, aka young Miami 𝐒𝐫𝐞𝐬𝐬. You know, you're still like popping up with random babies, because this man in his 50s like just had a baby. And it's just so unbelievable to me. Like, who believes this? Does anybody really believe this apology or lie? Whatever. I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. But I really think this whole situation is an opportunity to spot red flags and to also learn a lesson. And if you are in a situation, you know, where you're deciding to date people in the future, it's always good to keep an open eye for things. So the first thing that I feel like in this situation was a red flag was the age gap. When him and Cassie got together, I believe she was like 19 and he was like in his 30s. That's a large age gap. And I'm not saying that all age gap relationships are, you know, inherently bad. But when it's the fact that you're like a teenager or a very young adult, I would say probably before the age of like 25, you know, where your frontal lobe hasn't developed and you haven't really done anything in life, like an older person who actually has lived life, they're at an advantage to you in so many things, and they could possibly take advantage of you. It's a total different age gap when it's like 40 and 60. Totally different, right? And another thing was the power dynamic within their relationship. So he discovered her. So he was kind of like her artist, and he was supposed to be propping her up, mentoring her, basically in charge of her career. And I believe this is the kind of the reason why she got with him, because she felt pressure to be with him because of that power dynamic. And I believe she felt the pressure to stay with him because of that power dynamic. And this is the reason why power dynamics within relationships are trouble. Not necessarily saying that they will always be trouble, but they can be trouble. And a power dynamic can be an age. It could also, in this case, be someone who's in charge of your career, like a supervisor or a boss. These exist in so many capacities, even with like a teacher and a student. Even if the teacher is not your teacher, but a teacher in your school or a college professor, that is why we don't do that, right? And then another thing is his reputation. And there's twofold. One is he has been rumored to be an abusive guy. He was rumored with his ex, Kim Porter, to have broken her nose. And it's been rumored. And rumors are rumors, yes. But I always feel like where there's smoke, there's fire. Why are people saying this? Like, what kind of evidence do they have? Does this rumor have teeth? And this is a rumor that you don't want to play with. You do not want to date someone who has the ability to do these types of things to you. And you guys know that I believe at bouncing at the first red flag, you know what I'm saying? So that's a red flag if they already have rumors of being harmful to a previous mate. And not only that, he has a track record for being a ladies' man. So if you do want to get married, if you do want to settle down, if you do want someone to be faithful to you, a guy like that would not be the person that you pick to be with, because he has had several children by women and have not ever gotten married. And in Cassie's case, apparently that's something she wanted, because now she has married with a family. And I understand everybody doesn't want marriage. I get it. We hear it all the time. But like I said, if someone desires marriage and they desire a family, then you want to see what someone's track record is for that. And why are they making babies and all around town and they're not marrying anybody? It's just weird, okay? Not weird, but it happens. And so you either are okay with that type of lifestyle or you're not. And the best indicator of behavior is what they've been doing. People don't change overnight. Like, if they've been doing this for years, they will probably continue to do it for more and more years. And so besides the red flags, what can we glean from this whole entire situation? The first thing is believe victims. You don't necessarily have to be under celebrities' posts and comments and things like that. This is mainly for people in your real life. So if you have a friend, a sibling, a coworker, somebody who you know, and they're telling you some stuff, just believe them, just support them, because most likely they're telling the truth. And beyond that, if you hear about someone that you are thinking of dating or someone who is approaching you and you hear things about them like this, run for the hills. Don't even listen to the stories that they're going to tell you, because they're going to be so convincing and charming and they're gonna try to butter you up, and you might fall for it and wind up like the person, okay? And beyond that, use this as an opportunity to cleanse your social circle. Listen to what everyone is saying about this Cassie and Diddy thing. How are they approaching it? Do they believe Diddy? Do they believe he's really a changed man? What do they think about Cassie in this situation? It's good to listen to people and how they internalize these celebrity pop culture type of topics. While it may not be applicable to your life, and I know some people are anti-celebrity or anti-gossip or whatever, I feel like this is always such a good learning lesson. This is why I talk about these things. It's not to gossip. It's not to like talk negatively or bad about people or any of that. It's to always learn some kind of lesson and anything that can help people in their lives and in their situations. And probably the most important lesson that we all can learn is to learn how to set boundaries in your relationships. And this comes from you doing inner work with yourself and making sure that you are healed before you get into a relationship, because it is so important. It's important to know yourself. It's important to spot those red flags. And it's also important to be able to walk away. And I understand that when you're in a situation like that, it's very hard to walk away. But before you get in a situation like that, when people are telling you things, you are spotting red flags, you are having that gut-wrenching feeling, that intuition, and you're thinking, should I stay? Should I leave? I mean, he hasn't hit me, but, you know, like, he has yelled at me, you know, like, he does make little comments here and there, like, head for the heels, because it only takes one split second for someone to put their hands on you. Man, this is such a difficult topic to talk about, and it's you know, like the celebrity pop culture stuff isn't what I usually talk about, and neither is this topic. But when I saw that video, I just, oh my God, like I made a TikTok and everything. Like I was just like, oh God, it was just crazy. And this apology is even crazier. And so I had to talk about it because I was just like, ugh. But people can really learn a lot from these situations, even though it's other people's lives and other people's business, and they're real people. You don't want to find yourself in such a harrowing situation as what she had to endure for so many years. I wish you guys peace, prosperity, and blessings. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Make sure you continue to spread kindness in a world full of hate, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.